You ever wonder what really separates the consistently profitable traders from, well, everybody else? I'll tell you what it's not. It's not magic, and it's definitely not luck. It's engineering. So let's dive into this whole idea of building an architecture for your trading, a system that's specifically designed to take your biggest enemy out of the equation, emotional decision making. And this quote, wow, it just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It's so powerful, almost a little brutal. Think about it. How many times have you talked yourself into a trade, totally convinced it was a sure thing, only to look back and realize you were just seeing what you wanted to see? That's the exact problem we are going to solve right here, right now. So that brings us to the first big question. How can you tell the difference between a real opportunity and something your own mind is just making up out of hope or fear? This is the battle every single trader fights every single day. Okay, let's be real for a second. Have you ever jumped into a trade because of FOMO? You know, that sinking feeling that you're going to miss out on a huge move? Or maybe you held on to a losing trade way too long, just hoping it would magically turn around. Or maybe you got a little greedy and risked way too much. If you said yes to any of those, you're not alone. That's emotional hijacking, and it's what we need to stop. This slide just lays it out so perfectly. The two worlds we can live in as traders. Over on one side, you've got emotional hijacking. That's when your mood, your hopes, your fears, they're calling the shots. And on the other side, you've got decision-free trading. It's all about a system, a set of rules, a checklist, and pure, cold logic. One is a recipe for chaos. The other is a blueprint for consistency. All right, so if we all agree that emotion is the enemy, the obvious answer is just to get more willpower, right? Just be more disciplined. Well, that's actually where most advice goes completely off the rails. So let's talk about the myth of willpower. And here is the absolute key. The most successful traders out there, they're not superhuman. They don't have some kind of iron will that makes them immune to feeling fear or greed. Nope, they've just engineered a better system around themselves. So if you've been beating yourself up for not being disciplined enough, you can stop right now. You've just been trying to solve the wrong problem. Oh yeah, we've all heard this stuff before. Just control your emotions. That's like telling someone not to feel hungry when they haven't eaten all day. These approaches are basically designed to fail because they ask you to fight your own human nature. In a high-stress arena like trading, your willpower is a battery, and trust me, it will run out. So if trying harder and having more willpower isn't the answer, what is? Well, this is where we have to make a huge shift in our thinking. Instead of trying to change who you are, you change the system you operate in. It's time to build a better architecture. And boom, here it is. This is the solution. A better architecture isn't about wrestling with your emotions in the heat of the moment. It's about building a system that stops those emotions from even getting into the driver's seat in the first place. It's proactive, not reactive. You're making the hard decisions way ahead of time when you're calm, cool, and collected. I absolutely love this metaphor. Just imagine your trading account is a high-speed train. Without any tracks, what's going to happen at the first sharp curve? It's going to fly off and crash, right? Well, your trading architecture, your system, your rules, those are the rails. They keep you locked on the path, making sure you get where you want to go safely, no matter how crazy things get outside. Okay, so we've talked about the what and the why. Now let's get to the how. How do you actually build these rails for your train? The answer is a really simple but incredibly powerful tool, a checklist. This is the new rule. This is the command you give yourself. The entire purpose of the system we're about to put in place is this. Your ability to make money should never, ever depend on whether you woke up feeling good that day. It should depend on a process, something you can repeat, something you can verify. So how many points do we need on this checklist to filter out all that emotional noise? The magic number is 7. 7 objective, black and white, non-negotiable checkpoints that any trade setup has to pass before you even think about risking a single penny. And here it is, the heart of our better architecture, the validation checklist. I want you to think of it like a bouncer at the velvet rope of an exclusive club. If a trade setup walks up and doesn't meet all 7 of the criteria on the list, it's not getting in. End of story. For instance, one of your rules could be pure math. The potential reward has to be at least 2 times bigger than the potential risk. That's it, a simple 2-to-1 ratio. No feelings involved, just a calculator. And the process itself is just beautiful in its simplicity. So you spot a potential setup that looks good. But before you get all excited and hit the buy button, you stop. You take a breath, and you run it through your 7 rules. Does it pass Rule 1? Check. Rule 2. Let's use our example. Does it have at least a 2-to-1 risk/reward? If the answer is no, you stop right there. It's not a trade. You just walk away. Only if, and I mean only if, it passes all 7 checks, do you then go and execute. See? The decision was already made for you by your system. You know, what this system does over time is it creates this massive shift in your entire approach. You literally move from the subjective world of feelings and gut instincts into the objective world of process and probability. You're trading based on math, not your mood. So if you take one thing away from this, let it be this. Stop trying to have more willpower and start building better systems. Your architecture is the wall that protects you from your own worst emotional impulses. And that checklist? It's not just some list. It's your fortress. It defends your money from you. And that brings us to the end. Look, all this theory is great, but it's useless without action. So I want to leave you with this question. Forget about creating all 7 rules right now. That's too much. Just think about 1. What's the very first rule you'll write? It could be that 2-to-1 risk/reward rule we talked about. Or maybe it's the trade has to be going in the same direction as the main daily trend. What is the single most important non-negotiable condition a trade must meet for you? Start there. Write it down. That's the first brick in your new fortress